Welcome back to Autozone. Today we are talking about something a little different, the cars that did not quite live up to the hype. You know, every big automotive brand has that one model they believed would change the game, but instead it quietly slipped into the failed car category. Maybe the marketing was strong, maybe the design looked futuristic, maybe the brand poured millions into it, but when the numbers came in, the story was totally different. So let's dive into 5 well-known cars from big brands that just did not perform the way their companies expected. Let's start with the BMW i3. When BMW launched the i3, they wanted to make a bold statement in the electric vehicle world: a carbon fiber body, a quirky futuristic design, a good feel. Everything looked like a revolution on paper. But once it hit showrooms, buyers hesitated. The price was too high for its small size. The driving range was not impressive compared to competitors, and its unusual styling was not everyone's cup of tea. BMW expected strong EV sales, but the i3 ended up being one of their least profitable projects. Despite being ahead of its time, it just could not win mainstream customers, and eventually BMW discontinued it after consistent low sales. Next up is the Honda Clarity. Honda had huge ambitions with this one, a hydrogen fuel cell version, a plug-in hybrid version, lots of big promises. The problem: nobody really understood what the Clarity was supposed to be. The design felt overly complicated. Fuel cell stations barely existed, and the hybrid version was overshadowed by competitors offering better range and better pricing. Honda invested heavily in hydrogen technology, but the market simply was not ready. The sales numbers were disappointing. Operating costs were high, and Honda eventually pulled the plug. What was meant to be a futuristic breakthrough turned into a financial loss and a quiet exit from the lineup. Then we have the Toyota Mirai, another hydrogen-powered dream that struggled to survive. Toyota really believed hydrogen would be the future of clean mobility, and honestly, the engineering behind the Mirai is impressive. It is smooth, quiet, and full of innovation, but the biggest problem was not the car, it was the infrastructure. Hardly any hydrogen stations existed, and the few that did were mostly in small pockets of the US. Even people who wanted to buy the Mirai simply could not use it conveniently. The cost of building each unit was extremely high, and Toyota lost a huge amount of money on every sale. Despite Toyota's confidence, the Mirai became a classic example of great technology released in the wrong market at the wrong time. Now let's talk about the Ford Taurus. This one is interesting because the Taurus actually used to be a big success in the 90s, but over time the market changed and Ford did not adapt fast enough. SUVs became the new favorite, sedans started dying out, and the Taurus just could not keep up. Later models felt outdated, had bland interiors, and did not offer anything exciting compared to the competition. Sales kept dropping year after year until Ford finally said enough and discontinued it. Taurus was not just a failed car, it was a sign of sedan decline in America for Ford. It meant switching their strategy completely and moving heavily toward trucks and SUVs. Finally, we have the Mercedes-Benz X-Class, a pickup truck from a luxury brand that should have been a hit but was not. Mercedes thought people would love a premium pickup, stylish, comfortable, and capable. But when the truck launched, customers immediately noticed something odd. It was basically a rebadged Nissan Navara underneath. The luxury buyers did not want a truck that felt borrowed, and the truck buyers did not want to pay extra just because it wore a Mercedes badge. Sales were extremely low across every market. The production cost was high, the brand image did not match the segment, and Mercedes ultimately shut the project down within a few years. The X-Class became one of the brand's fastest discontinuations in history. And when you look at all 5 of these cars, they share a similar pattern. They were not bad cars, in fact, some of them were actually pretty innovative. But timing, pricing, poor market understanding, or simply lack of customer interest pushed them into the fail category. These models remind us that even giant brands with huge budgets can misread the market sometimes. Innovation is risky, and sometimes the gamble just does not pay off. So that's the story of the BMW i3, Honda Clarity, Toyota Mirai, Ford Taurus, and the Mercedes-Benz X-Class, 5 cars that promised a lot but delivered far less in terms of sales and impact. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more content like this, make sure to stay tuned.